Hi, this is Manny, and today I have a video on gardening. So during the pandemic, I started getting more interested in gardening to pass time, and I did some research, and I just want to share with you some of the things that are important when you're doing gardening. And this is from a beginner's point of view, so if you're an expert, this is going to be all pretty easy and you already know all this information. But if you're starting out, first let me go over some accessories. Probably the most important thing is to have gloves, because when I wasn't using the gloves, dirt gets in your nails. You also get splinters from either some of the plants or some of the wood that you're handling. So gloves is actually helps protect your hands. And my normal job is to work on a keyboard on a computer, so obviously my hands were I like my hands to be kind of clean. I don't like to have a lot of dirt under my nails and things like that. So anyways, these gloves are from Costco. I think I bought a pack of 15 or 20. I also have this pretty inexpensive set of gloves when I use some of the bigger tools, and these are pretty cheap. They're like $2 or something like that, but they're already ripped. As you can see, there's a hole right there in my thumb. But gloves is probably one of the first things that you need to have. And continuing, you can get also for women, I bought this for my girlfriend, a set of gloves for gardening. They come in a pack of 6, and I think this was like $10. Alright. Another thing is, sometimes when you're working in the garden, you need to spray like organic liquids or even sometimes chemical liquids, or you're working in an area that's really dusty. These particular safety glasses have foam around them. They were about $9, and these are the 3M safety goggles, and they work really good because they seal the area around your eyes, and it doesn't let some of that mist from the chemicals or the dust to go into your eyes. So that's actually a good thing to have. So the first part of my video is going to be talking just about accessories. So another thing is, I got this sharpening tool. It's called a sharpal, and it has things to sharpen your pruners and even your trowels and things like that. So the loppers, it also has, you can sharpen them with this tool. So this allows you to extend the life of your tools. And then I have an old file that I found in my toolbox. Again, I use this to sharpen some of the tools. And then you need a nylon or a metal brush to clear some of the dirt off of some of your tools. So these are some of the accessories that I thought would be useful and helpful. Another one is this kneeling pad. I think I bought this one at Harbor Freight for like $7. And I have a bucket. So my chair, because I work in the ground, is a bucket. Not until I have a potting bench, maybe I won't need this one as much, but this is a kneeling pad, so also when you kneel down on the ground, your knees are not hitting the hard cement. Oh, and by the way, these tools is to work in a garden in the city. I'm in LA County, and so I have a medium-sized yard, and but obviously if you have a farm, if you live somewhere else where you have a lot of land, these are not going to be enough. I mean, these are just your beginner tools. So I also use garbage bags. So as you're transferring soil from the bag to your pots, it creates a mess. So using a trash bag to kind of protect the ground, that makes it easier to clean up later on. And then I have an old broom and dustpan where I can pick things up. So these are kind of like the accessories that you need so that you can take care of your tools, you can clean up, and you can protect your hands and your eyes, and also protect your knees and your bottom when you're using a bucket as your seat. Okay, so now for the gardening tools, probably if you skip all of the accessories and you say I don't need gloves, none of the other stuff you really need, but you're gonna need a trowel. So this one is definitely probably the number one thing you need. And I like these rubber grips because I've had stuff with wood, and it cracks and you have to maintain it. So I don't know how to maintain the tools that well, so I went with the rubber handles on these things. So this is probably the number one thing that you need. And then probably the other thing that I like is this Hori. So this is a Japanese style potting tool, and it has a serrated knife on one side and it has like a regular knife edge on the other side. It also has the measurements to see how deep you want to dig into your pot, and so this is good for cutting roots, for even taking out weeds from the ground. So this is from a company, it's called the Nisaku stainless steel Hori, and I paid about $45 for this. Again, I didn't want the metal handle, and you can get cheaper ones. I just felt like splurging, and I ended up getting this more expensive one. The same thing with the next tool, the pruner. I wanted a top of the line pruner, and I went with the Felco F2. It's a high quality tool, and it was also about $50 some, but you don't need to get them this expensive. You can get a Fiskars or a Corona pruner for a lot less, and they work pretty good. But like I said, I wanted to splurge on two tools, and these were the two tools that I splurged on. Probably paid about $100 for both of them, and so these are the two tools that are the most prized possession in my tool set. So if you're working only with succulents like the ones you see here, probably these two things and maybe the Hori are the only things that you need. Actually, you could basically, these would be the top three tools that you need to do some potting in these small pots, and that's about it. Okay. Now, if you have a medium-sized yard, these are not enough to take care of some of the other things like that lemon tree and some of those other trees like that birds of paradise. And then I have more trees back here, more bushes. So those also have to be trimmed. So for that, you need some of the bigger tools. So these loppers, I think these are from Corona, but these loppers are actually pretty good. These are really good for cutting the bigger branches on the lemon tree and some of the other bushes that I have here in the house. This is a gravel rake, and again, this is, well, I have a lot of gravel, so this is to move it around and clear it. This is a leaf rake to clear some of the leaves, and then of course a shovel to dig holes or try to get to the bigger roots. But these would be your basic tools that you would need if you have some of the bigger trees, like I said, like that lemon tree and birds of paradise and some of the other bushes. But anyway, so hopefully that was helpful in terms of trying to figure out what are the tools that are useful and when you're starting to garden. Again, I think that the main tools would be these three, and you really don't need any more than that. And then over time you start adding, I'm sorry, not those three, these three with that. So these would be the three that you need. Anyways, hopefully that was helpful with the accessories and everything to get you going gardening. But I'm just a beginner, and hopefully sharing this knowledge will help some other beginners that are doing small time gardening like me. All right, thank you for listening. Bye.